Hello, hello, and welcome to another episode of That's So Diabolical. So, the other day I made a TikTok about a student asking me what is the most important thing in my life. If you go back and watch it, I go on to say that I wanted to say God, but I felt like I was going to get in trouble if I said God if he went back and told. So, I just said my parents. So, tonight on this episode, that's kind of what I want to talk about. I want to talk about how I feel like the world is now that we cannot openly talk about certain things without getting fired or suspended or laid off. And I thought that was the whole point of freedom of speech. But what bothers me the most about it is that I feel like I have to be silenced when talking about God. And I don't want to be silenced when talking about Him because I know that He wouldn't do the same in return to me. Like, I don't want to be the one up there trying to get in line to get to heaven and Him being like, no, because you are ashamed of talking about me. I am not ashamed of talking about God. Never, ever. However, I feel like I am made to not talk about it in certain situations in order to save my job. And I don't like that feeling. There was a guy who recently, I think he got put on leave for bringing a Bible to the sideline at a football game and talking about, I think he was praying before the game or something. I don't really know all the details. I just know that he got put on leave or suspension or something because there was a Bible involved and there was praying involved, and this was at a football game. I'm not trying to spread bad and not true things. That's why I said I don't know much about it. I just know that he was put on leave or something. So, with all that being said, I feel like we live in a world where we are silenced to a certain extent about talking about God. And that's one reason why this world is in shambles, because enough people aren't talking about God and how good He is and what He's done for them. I am all about keeping the faith. I am all about praising God. I love God. He's done so much for me, not only me, my family, my friends, and I just want to pray and hope that this world gets to a place to where it isn't looked down upon to talk about it. And I understand to a certain extent if some families don't believe in God, they don't want that to be persuaded to their child. I totally understand all of that, the logistics and all the things. But to me, I just feel like at this moment in time that we are in the world, I feel like God is being silenced, or not God is being silenced, that you can't speak about God because you feel like you are going to have consequences. So let's keep the faith. Let's keep praying that eventually this world will, for one, get better, and for two, we'll be able to openly talk about God and bring prayer back in schools, because we need to bring God back in the schools, because I am a true believer that most of the things that are happening is because they are trying to take God completely out of the schools. So let's bring it back. Let's bring it back, and let's not be embarrassed or feel like we have to have consequences because we do want to talk about the Lord and God and how good they are.